Now, in regards to protecting purchasing, and how does your membership increase the purchasing power for a business? Because the Chamber's main focus is how do we help our members? How do we get our members to grow? So in regards to increasing purchasing power for a business, how would that go about?
Well, good question. I mean, to give you an example, a winery on the west side was selling cases of wine in early August when the exchange rate was 90 cents and silver was below $30 an ounce. Silver price has risen about 25% since then. Exchange rate today, as we know, is $1.06. So the same amount of sovereigns that bought 90 cents worth of goods and services 6 weeks, 8 weeks ago, now buys 17, 18% more goods and services in the exchange in dollar terms. So in that way, in that regard, the winery has increased their purchasing power. It's the same case of wine, but because the price of silver has gone up, reflected in the sovereign exchange rate, he's got more dollar purchasing power. Now, if we take that and assume that the clothing retailer, the dentist, is doing discounts, it enhances his purchasing power even further. If that discount is truly beyond the best cash price, then it encourages that member now, in this case the winery, to buy a shirt from that retailer instead of someone in Vancouver,
Right.
which helps the local economy. So this money stays local. It stays in the street, and like any trade exchange, breeds new business and more opportunities, more networking opportunities, more referrals for the membership. Unlike paper dollars, fiat dollars, which are, once they're deposited in a bank, who knows where they go. They're exported around the world, in the case of the US dollar, and there's really no loyalty to paper money.
I love that it stays here in the Okanagan. So how many members do you have within the Sovereign Exchange?
Well, currently it's pushing 200.
Fantastic.
It hasn't been as strong as I'd hoped, actually. Partly, I think, because there's a little more education required as to how to deal with it and how to convert to sovereigns, a dollar price to sovereigns, and then actually, go into your dashboard or your back offices of the website and actually do this. But it's coming. This last week, in fact, just this morning, we had a local Yamaha dealer sell a Skidoo for, the list price was about $3,900. He did a discount, converted by the exchange rate, it settled at about 3,500 sovereigns. And his plan is to take delivery of one of these bars.
Right.
Which I want him to do because I want him to tell some friends.
Right.
Last week we had in the lower Nicola Valley a company called, and I have to jog my memory here, but it's a custom saddle maker.
Oh, okay.
Sell a couple of saddles, and I didn't know this, but custom saddles are a lot of money.
Oh, they're very expensive. Yeah. It's the sport of kings for a reason.
Right, and business is soft, he tells me, and he's not getting rich doing this.
No.
So I explained to him how he just might get rich by accepting sovereigns and converting to metal, because the metal prices are, in my opinion, going a lot higher.
Right.
And he might just get rich one day selling saddles for sovereigns.
Right. No, that sounds great. So it sounds like you have a really interesting mix of clients as well. If you've got everything from a saddle maker to a guy selling Yamahas, it sounds like there's going to be definitely something for every single person in Kelowna to find.
There is good variety now, but to finish that thought, I just returned from a convention of barter exchange operators in Jamaica a few weeks ago, and we've activated accounts, reciprocal trading accounts with other exchange operators.
Oh, okay.
In Toronto, in Seattle, in Australia. So your sovereigns can travel to other exchange operators and enable you to get good purchasing power out of those exchanges. In Seattle, we're aligned with a trade exchange called BizX, which has 3,500 members in the Seattle area. In Toronto, we're aligned with an exchange with about 3,000 members. So if you need a room in Toronto, or a restaurant, or want to go to a ball game,
right,
those things are all available to you with your sovereigns.
Now this is really interesting because I've got family in Ontario and I have family in Australia. So I would essentially be able to book hotel rooms and get whatever I need over there with my account with you here
That's
in
right.
Kelowna.
Absolutely.
So I now essentially have an international account.
No question.
That is
Barter
brilliant.
and commercial barter today is recognized around the world. In fact, in North America, there's 325,000 small business owners approximately trading on conventional exchanges. And because most exchange operators now that I've known over the years understand how our exchange works and that they can get things that aren't typically available in their own exchanges, they're putting out some pretty attractive offers to sovereign exchange members.
Right.
In some cases, media in Toronto and Seattle that is marked down 70 or 80% for sovereigns, because those sovereigns can be used back in our exchange for hard goods, and then those hard goods can be relisted in the local exchange in Toronto or Seattle.
Right.
Items that they typically wouldn't see in a trade exchange, like you're talking about the cars quite often, where the member is on hold, doesn't want to sell anymore because his trade dollars aren't liquid. That's not the case with the sovereign exchange. Your trade dollars, your sovereigns are always liquid.
Oh, fantastic.
Yep.
So how many in this group and this team of other exchanges, how many is it that you've linked up specifically with one in Toronto and one in Australia, or is it that is it a network of people that you've now entered into that were already established?
A network of barter exchange operators who have accounts with us and we have accounts with them.
Oh, okay.
So think of it like a central bank clearing a transaction for a business owner in China. The Chinese business owner gets renminbis or wons. The central bank takes the dollars and converts them. So you've got, in this case, the central bank of China holding 3 trillion US trade dollars and buying a lot of gold, by the way, with those. Their gold offtake this year is up 700% over last year at the same time. So they're liquidating, the Chinese are, a lot of their dollars, US dollars, for physical bullion. But the situation works similarly with us. We act as a clearing agent for your sovereigns when you want to go to Tampa Bay and spend a week. The local merchant in Tampa Bay gets Florida barter dollars, and the Florida barter agent acts as a clearinghouse on that end as well.
Excellent.
Yeah.
No, that just makes travel heaps easier.
Well, in northern Florida, there's 200 restaurants that are part of the Florida Barter Exchange and 75 hotels, so you can do a lot of
Excellent.
travel on trade. Again, we've got the situation here where in order to get this form of trade, you've got to be aggressive, which isn't the typical scenario in any other trade exchange. Trade dollars typically in most trade exchanges will find you.
Right, right.
In this exchange, you've got to be a lot more aggressive to get them because of the liquidity and because of this rise in purchasing power of the sovereign that happens when the price of silver goes higher.
Excellent.
So a little more aggressive, and that's an economic theory called Gresham theory, and you sound like you might know something about that, but the bad money drives the good money out of circulation until it doesn't.
Right.
Then it comes back, and with a bang.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Fantastic.